Hi, thanks for joining me. Today I'm finishing the case knives from the 80s. I've got 6 knives today from the second half of the decade, and then I'll have one more video on case before moving on. So first I'm going to check out this rare pattern Barlow. This is a 3-dot 1987. Model is R62005, and then it's got another R SSP. The first R is, of course, red bone. I couldn't figure out what the second R is. I saw something that suggested a variation of red bone, but I don't see it. The knife itself is in top condition, definitely unique looking. I love the bone, especially the jigging to the end of the handle. The same thing back here. There's a spot on the bolster. It's not damaged, it's like a little factory carbon spot or something. The pins are brass like any red bone and brass liner. Here you got the 3-dot Lightning S stamp, 1987, and the only thing I cared about in 87 was Super Mario. The main blade's a bit of an eccentric Spey blade. It's kind of unusual. I read that's the first year they made this type of pattern. I'm not sure if they ever did again. I really like the long pull. Looks nice on that. And the other side as well, the blades are in great shape. The main blade's sturdy. It's got this very thick spine without much of a taper. And then the grind goes very thin, like a straight razor by the time it gets to the edge. And I'm going to put that away and check out the secondary. It's a pen blade. It's actually a large spear point. This is a big, heavy knife. I'm not a Barlow guy myself, but this one I only have good things to say about it. Then next I am continuing in 1987, which is this green bone small Coke bottle. This is G6 to 25 1/2. And the first thing I notice about this is the green bone's not very green. Looks more like brown bone. Maybe it's just me. It does say, though, G6. Yeah, green. It does seem greener on this side. On the other side, I just got to look at it differently, I guess. I don't have much to say about this one. A couple today are pretty straightforward like this, and I'll just be documenting their condition. The handle is in great shape. It's got the same raised letter shield common today. Nickel silver bolsters, but brass pins and liner. Then it's the standard Coke bottle jack, swell center jack. The blades are polished. I don't see a scratch on them. Same stamp as the others today, the Lightning S stainless and 3-dot 1987. This one is in good condition. And then we've got this 2-dot 1988 genuine Stag small Stockman. This is a 53033, and it is a very small Stockman. It's less than 3 inches. It's even smaller than a peanut. Here's a peanut for scale. Definitely the smallest Stockman I have, and it's got nickel silver square bolsters, brass pins, and liner. Also, the raised letter shield set in Stag looks really great. And the gnarled side is very textured. Here between the bolster and the left pin is like a small crack. I don't know if it's a crack. There's actually 2. It's not damage, doesn't seem. It's just like the way the antler is. The main blade is the smallest case clip point I have. There's no half stops on this entire knife. Also a standard sheep's foot and spear like any Stockman. I think it's so funny, this little tiny Stockman. It looks like a very useful knife, actually. It would be a shame to destroy it, but I'd carry something like this. I don't think a lot of people carry old Stag case small Stockmans, but pretty cool. And then this one is the same year as the Stockman. It's a 2.88. Just a green bone pen knife, very similar to the first Jack in every way, including that I don't have much to say about it. Just looking at its condition here. On the front of the handle is a wild jig. Looks like it hit the bolster and dinged it. I guess they jig them after they build them. I would have thought they did it first. I have no idea. The blades seem good. On the pen, we can see some slight scratches like it's rubbing on something. Oh, yeah, and then on this side it matches. So there's just like a millimeter too close here when they close. And the blades can hit each other is what's going on. Just a pretty simple knife. And then this guy is just your standard old 1-dot commemorative 1989 100-year anniversary stable Christmas celluloid small Coke bottle Jack with a commemorative shield. This guy has brass pins and brass liner. Seems like all in this series are the same there. Just going to fly over this one, but take a moment to admire the handle. I am not a fan of celluloid in general. My dad loved it. This one seems to be very stable. Looks very nice, though. The celluloid type is called Christmas Tree. It's a popular case style. It's supposed to be a lot of like red and green and black, I suppose. But this one's just got mostly this black wisp going through everything. It looks kind of wicked. It looks ghostly. More like Nightmare Before Christmas, I guess. It definitely doesn't make me want to have a Coke. And the blades, they're not polished. They're just brushed stainless, which I actually prefer. I think it looks sharper. I like the texture of it. The pen has a couple scratches on it by the nick. And there's the model that's a CT Christmas Tree celluloid 225 1/2. Then last for the 1980s, I've got this limited edition 1989 Damascus red bone razor. Very rare. This one doesn't have a model number. It's a 1989, so it's also a centennial blade. This was picked up at the 1989 Blade Show and Cutlery Fair. It's an annual event. I couldn't find any info on that event on the internet today, although I presume it must have been in Los Angeles if my dad picked this up. Obviously a nice looking red bone razor pattern, standard shield. Same on this side. There's this black spot on the bolster here, some sort of carbon or oxidation. Otherwise, great shape here. And the blade, single straight razor Damascus. I read this was the first year case ever used Damascus in '89. The tang isn't standard, so there's no dots, but it's dated pretty well on the etch. And the tang is the long tail Case XX Bradford PA. It's kind of hard to read. The etching reads 1989 Blade Show and Cutlery Fair, 1 of 500. There's no other serial number, and the other side of the blade has no writing, but it does look very nice. I love the curve of it. It does have a half stop and a very strong spring and a beautiful blade there. Very rare. And thanks for joining me today. That wraps up the 1980s case dives. I'm surprised he didn't have any from the 90s, but I've got a stack of more modern sodbusters and I think collectible trappers that I'll put into probably one more video, hopefully one more video for case, and then moving on to Cattaraugus. If you'd like to see that and hundreds of other knives from my late father's knife collection, please subscribe or check out some of my other videos.